you for joining me today. Welcome to another edition of your Monday morning espresso shot. Let us begin, as we always do, by first placing our awareness in the area of the heart. And we take slow, deep, gentle breaths. And just imagine, visualize whatever your mode of experiencing emotions are. Just imagine these flowing in and out of your heart. You can breathe through your nose and your mouth, of course. That is natural. But if you keep your awareness in the area of the heart and just imagine that these breaths are flowing in and out of your heart, then you can always keep the awareness in the area of the heart. That is the trick. So let us do this for a few breaths. If you've been doing this for a little while, for a few months now or more, see if you can do this with your eyes open without losing the awareness in the area of the heart. This is an important technique for self-mastery because you want to be able to do this as you engage life. So see if you can try with your eyes open, and if it doesn't work, just close your eyes. But every day, take a few breaths with the eyes open until you are used to this. Can you draw the breath even deeper? See if you can imagine it flowing into your heart and down to your root chakra. And as you exhale, exhale from your root chakra out through your heart. You don't have to stop at the top or at the bottom of the breath. Just allow it to go fluid. We're trying to balance our autonomic nervous system, which regulates 90% of our automatic functions in our body. This is a good technique to do that. So take those deep breaths. By taking these deep breaths, you are inviting oxygen to go to the lower half of your lungs. And by doing that, more oxygen is being picked up because the lung picks up most of the oxygen in the bottom half, bottom 2/3 of that organ. So take deep breaths. There's 100 trillion or so cells in your body that your heart is working hard to distribute this oxygen to. So take those deep breaths, even for 5 minutes. If you had your eyes closed, please do open them. Bring yourself back to this moment. And if you had your eyes open, that's great because you're already alert and ready to take on the next topic. Today's topic is strength in diversity. Now, I'm not going to preach to you about how different ethnicities need to come together, people of different race, color, gender. You already know that by participating in a program like this and other programs that you are so keen on participating, I don't need to waste any of our time talking about that. What I do want to talk about today is the idea of diversity in views and opinions. It's a subset of diversity in individuals and the way they look, the way they talk, the way they enunciate, the way they behave. So if you see somebody weaving in and out of traffic, every one of us, I know I do, already have a judgment about that individual, and we paint them black and white as irresponsible and reckless. And then everything we continue in that conversation, in that vein, if we meet them a day later, we've already labeled them. By labeling somebody with one view or opinion that's different than yours, what you're doing is at that point in time, your views and opinions and your perspective may be the right perspective. If I use that term, it's a correct perspective. However, what we're leaving out is the fact that this individual may meet someone like you, that will help them change their perspective. So that old perspective, even a day ago, may not be the right one for them. They may have shifted and changed. But if in your mind you haven't seen them, and the next time you see them, your mindset is locked into their old behavior. And this is a very important point. If you are an individual that is working on themselves, working on growing your mindset, you're working on growing your mastery, you're working on breaking through limiting beliefs, you wouldn't want to be recognized for somebody you were last week or a year ago. And neither do others. And that is why when we approach individuals, we approach them as if they're strangers. Even if you know this person for years and decades, we approach them as they are complete strangers, and you give them a fresh perspective and assume that they are not what they were a few days ago. Now, there may be a situation where they haven't changed, but then again, you may know this person as somebody who's locked into their kind of mindset. Then you can make that judgment. But people that you haven't seen for a while, remember that they may have met someone like yourself, that will help them create an aha moment. I mean, my entire purpose in doing what I'm doing now is to help individual switch that. And it pains me to see how individuals that have made this transition, that have really begun to shift, get discouraged by others who view them in a certain way. So I encourage all of us here, and I'm no exception to this. I have my moments, but I encourage everyone here to approach everyone as a stranger within reason. Treat each other as if they are a piece of you. And that's something that I want to share with you in the next 2 minutes. We know that energy, an atom, we saw, and and everybody took biology or physics in high school, everybody had to do that. You know that every atom is represented in school. They were represented as spheres, Bohr's atom, just to simplify the basic foundations of an atom. But if you really look at the atom itself, if you take an electron microscope, the atom is 99.999999% energy. And we know that energy can fill any vessel. We know water can fill any shape, no different than energy. And water is more solid than energy. We also know, if you've been with me for a long enough time, that our heart produces a magnetic field, which is also an energy, because you can measure it. You can measure this magnetic field, and it encodes itself on our emotions encode themselves on our magnetic field, and they extend eight feet or so. And some scientists are hypothesizing that they're multidimensional, go beyond that. And there are studies that kind of point them in this direction. If you walk by an individual, a piece of you is interacting with a piece of them energetically. So that individual, their personality, that is you. It's like looking in the mirror and saying to the other person, you're an idiot. Well, you've just denigrated yourself. And I'd like us all to approach life in this perspective. More about this next week. I have another doozy for you in this vein next week. But for now, let us begin by continuing this process by placing our awareness in the area of the heart, taking slow, deep, gentle breaths. And this time, take the breaths right into your root chakra. And if it feels appropriate, take it down to the center of the earth in your imagination. We just spoke about energy. You are 0.0000001% matter. What you're doing is you are energizing the energetic part of you. And if you visualize, that will also guide the energy. And you experience this flowing into your heart, down to your root chakra, through your legs, and down to the earth. And then when you exhale, draw it from the earth, through your legs, from your root chakra out. For those of us who are spiritually minded, we know that Gaia has consciousness. We call her Mother Gaia. We call her nature, Mother Nature. For those of us who are strictly scientific minded, who want to see proof, I'll tell you right now, as an engineer, the only way we could balance power systems was to ground the stray voltages into 6 feet into Earth. That is the only way we could actually stabilize the system, because Earth distributes all that energy, and it's got such a huge sink that could transmute anything. So there's no difference between those atoms in the physical power system wires and the atoms that are in your body. We are all interconnected. So take these breaths in and visualize them glowing right into the earth. And if you feel that there is a sentientness around Mother Earth, connect with Mother Earth. You will feel the energy. And now express gratitude. Express gratitude for this moment. Express gratitude for the connection with all that is. The more gratitude you expect or express, the more you'll receive. Trust me, I'm already feeling it right now. Thank Gaia for balancing your body, for opening up your cells to receive the wisdom of all that is. We are symbiotic with Gaia. The frequencies that bounce off Gaia's surface, bounce off of the stratosphere, have the same standing waves as some of our autonomic nervous system functions. We are symbiotically connected to nature. And the way when we love nature, we're sending energy. And today is your opportunity to connect with that and say, thank you, gratitude to all that is, for giving you the supports, for giving you all the tools you need. All you have to do is reach for them. Sometimes we forget, we don't reach for them. And being a creature of free will, Gaia will not impose anything on you. So ask for it. And now slowly open your eyes if you had them closed. Just gently bring your awareness back into this room. Take a few deep breaths. I don't know, I felt that one more than usual, actually. So thank you so much for joining me today. And that's the all. If you have to go, you have to go. If not, I'm happy to take questions. I already see some comments coming through. And while others are putting that in, I have a 3-part series, Ignite the Joy Factor. And in that 3-part series, I'll be talking about 3 different aspects of joy, how we can reach for the joy using an outside stimulus. And that part 1 has already been posted. And I'll be pre-recording these because of my schedule nowadays. So part 1 has been posted and ready for the Ignite members. I will be providing this in our other online sites for others who are non-members to be able to access this, okay? Part 2 is coming up next week. Next Saturday, it'll be released, and you'll get to see them. And then part 3 will be on December 18th. If I can be of support, helping you get out of your own way, helping you shift your mindset, and allowing others to see you differently, this is my passion. Happy to do that. I'm happy to take questions or receive comments, and I will now stop sharing the slide, and I will now look at the comments. Let's see what's going on here. All right. We wish peace and harmony for everyone. Thank you, Claire and Carol. Thank you so much. I seem to be cutting out. I apologize. I don't know why. I hope I didn't cut out this time. I will publish this thing so you can listen to the full thing. I see everybody's cutting. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with the cutouts. So you can see that. All right. I don't see any more comments coming through. So watch out for the recording, and you will see that, and you can listen to the entire program. The 15 minutes. There's a comment coming in from studio audience. Thank you, Shamir. 6 feet to ground the power guide. 6 feet under. Is there a significance for 6 feet? Actually, that's just a coincidence. We for a power grounding, 6 feet is merely where we have a certain type of soil that can actually distribute the energy. Sometimes what happens in the power area is if you've got dry soil, then what happens is it doesn't distribute energy because it's like disconnecting. If dry soil, there's no connection. To conduct electricity, you need moisture. So sometimes what we do is we send it 18 feet down. But the idea is to get moisture. Whereas 6 feet under, when you are buried, for those areas that burial is a requirement, 6 feet under is really a legislation or a bylaw that allows the body to be contained within the grave. So, I guess 6 feet is also the social distancing amount, and there's really no connection in the 6 feet kind of analogy. Thank you for that question. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me again today. I appreciate the participation. And even if it's a non-spiritual question, happy to answer power engineering questions. I left that behind and I miss it, of course. Take care for now. Thank you so much for joining me.